Pokemon Day is the source of information for all things Pokemon, and this weekend thousands are holding their breath waiting to see what will be revealed. Whereas we here at Zen TV are keen to crack the code early by first informing you of the current facts/leaks we have encountered on this journey to get here, along with some predictions and theories as to what may be shown. Also, for all two of you wondering, this isn't a replacement for the actual Zen TV itself, it's just in the shop right now being worked on a little, so I got this as a temporary replacement. And as for the office space, well, I just thought it was appropriate. Anyway, my name is Zenrold, and with that, let's dive right into the news. So to kick us off, we have the most obvious announcement that we will see from the Pokemon Company. That announcement being our first look at the next mainline games that we are currently believing will be called Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves, or something to that effect. We got this primarily from credible leakers such as Riddler Coup and Centro Leaks, both of whom have accurately predicted many things for Pokemon, with a recent confirmation being Cou's riddles for the Mega Dimension DLC before it came out. These two, along with a few others, have shared many things related to Gen 10 that give us our first idea of what we'll be seeing come the announcement, such as the entire map being leaked, showing us that Gen 10 will take place in an archipelago type map, accompanied by some concept art that shows a very tropical inspired location. And just for reference, this was the concept art that was leaked for Generation 9, and this is the concept art for Gen 10. Personally, I think this is a good reference point for expectations. Like sure, Scarlet and Violet kind of look like this, just with a much lower frame rate and resolution, so Gen 10 may be more ambitious in its foliage and environment, but we'll have to wait and see how that gets executed. What we do know though is that from this same string of leaks, a new art style is going to be adapted for these games, as we have a leaked screenshot of an updated Pikachu model, along with a clip of what may be a new feature that is currently being dubbed the Majin status effect. Now as for what that means, we'll get into later. We also have these screenshots depicting the player on a scooter of sorts, that many sources are saying is going to be a form of traversal called the Rotom Scooter. But there are also leaks from a couple years ago that hint at potential rideable Pokemon, so we'll see if they decide to do one or the other, or some combination of the two ideas. Now that is most of the information we have as far as credible leaks go for Gen 10. However, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Moving on, there are still a couple projects that we have either only heard of in announcement, or we are fully aware of that are most definitely going to be talked about in this year's Presents, such as the life simulator Pokopia, which if you're not aware is basically your Pokemon version of Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, and others of the like. This game has a release date for this early March, and will surely have some new content to show off in this year's Pokemon Presents. As according to Central Leaks on Twitter, this game will be incredibly expansive, and feature a large world to explore, though I would definitely take that bit with a grain of salt, as Central also stated that Pokopia won't have any Pokemon Home compatibility, but recent leaks have shown that Professor Tangrowth apparently has a traditional style sprite within Pokemon Home. So we're uncertain if Pokopia will have your typical compatibility with Home, but current leaks are pointing towards it having some kind of inclusion that surely will get talked about. We also have Pokemon Champions that got announced back in February of last year, and we have yet to hear anything since. Pokemon Champions seems like Pokemon's official answer to battle simulators like Smogon, just in their competitive format, and at the time of this video, we do not have any confirmed release date or overview on how the game will work, so they will likely talk about that as well. Now that we've covered the obvious heavy hitters, it's time to go into some predictions that we here at Zen TV have for this year's Presents. I'd like to take this time to thank everyone who has made it this far in the video, and I would also like to share with you all my thoughts and predictions for what we can expect to see in this Presents, starting with Gen 10. Typically when a new Pokemon game gets announced, we are shown the 3 starters, along with the box legendaries. In recent years, the Pokemon Company has taken this opportunity to make some vague, artistic trailers for the new games, and I have a feeling we're going to be seeing something just as ambiguous for these games. Either that, or we'll be shown something similar to Gen 8, and actually get to see a little bit of some new gameplay, but either way, we're definitely going to be kept waiting for more. In the case that we do get to see a bit of gameplay, I think we'll just be shown the environment with no new Pokemon. I also don't think we will get to see the Majin gimmick that we talked about earlier in effect at all, or being used. Knowing how Pokemon like to advertise, I think that will be something they show us later this year, closer to the release of the game. I also want to briefly predict that with the arrival of some new models for some Pokemon, if not all Pokemon, may come some new animations, and we could finally be getting a 3D Pokemon game that isn't lifeless and dead. Hopefully anyway. Pokopia on the other hand will most likely get a good amount of coverage. They haven't been very shy with the content found with Pokopia, seemingly giving us an update anytime they can, and I'm confident that they're going to show us more gameplay features along with some potential story elements. Why do I think that? Well, because fuck you, that's Pokemon Champions will definitely be getting a release date along with a general overview, and there will most certainly be some fluff related to Unite and Sleep. Though if I had to make a wild card guess, an absolute mother of all predictions for something completely out of left field as my final prediction, then I'll say it here first. I'm placing my money on the announcement of some kind of Pokemon spin-off a la Pokemon Cafe Remix, Shuffle, and things of the like. I am incredibly confident that we are going to hear about some absolute booty-ass spin-off game that nobody asked for. Though I am hoping and praying that this feeling is actually a Pokken sequel, please God let me be wrong. Anyway, that's all my thoughts and predictions for February 27th, 2026's Pokemon Presents. Please let me know what you think will happen in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe as I will be live streaming during the whole event. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.